tired of dry, boring chicken breast? This right here is the perfect way to enjoy chicken breast. Ooh la la! Just follow this recipe through. So this recipe requires some spinach. You can use whatever spinach of your choice. It also requires some cream cheese and some shredded cheese. I like to use mozzarella. You could use whatever cheese of your choice. Now for the next stage, you could decide to use the spatula, but I feel like my hands are my best tools and I want the spinach and the cheese well incorporated. Next, it's time for us to get our chicken done. So what I want to do is create pockets on the chicken breast, or in the chicken breast rather. Now what you want to do is take the fleshy part of the chicken breast and have that at the top of your cutting board, and then the thinner bit of the chicken breast, which I like to call the tail, at the bottom bit of your chopping board. That would ensure that you create a deep enough pocket, but it also means that when you turn the back, you haven't poked holes in the chicken breast, because at the end of the day what we want is pockets, so that when we put our mixed spinach in it, it doesn't leak out of the chicken breast, so to speak, for lack of a better way to explain this. Now you're saying I'm actually taking my time to do this. There's no rush really. There's no right or wrong way to also do this, but I find the best way is what I've just explained to you. Now the next thing I'm going to do is put together my spices. Now I'm going to need some paprika for this. I'll also need some garlic salt, some oregano, some no aromat seasoning. I'm also going to need some ground black pepper and some chili flakes. Now I'm going to mix this properly together, and I like my chicken well spiced and well seasoned. So I'm just going to spread the seasoning across the chicken. I like to do this on the front, so inside the pockets that I've just made, as well as on the back as well. You can decide to do this any way you so choose. Now I'm just rubbing that in very, very gently. Next, I'm just going to go in with the spinach. Now I've got two types of spinach here. So I've got the plain spinach without any cheese. That's for a member of my family who doesn't really like cheese. But I personally, I love the cheesy bit. So when you put in the cheese mixed with the spinach in the chicken pockets, you don't want to overwhelm it. You want to do it in such a way that you could still close the pockets quite easily. I find, and trust me, I've learned from the past, that when you overwhelm the chicken breast with the spinach, when you put it in the oven, it tends to pop out and it doesn't give your tray a really good look, if I'm being honest. So you want to take your time with it. You could decide to close the pockets, just to have a feel to see if it'll really close, if you've put too much or you've put too little. Feel free to add some more if you feel like you've put too little. Next, you will need toothpicks. I actually didn't have toothpicks at home, so I used my bamboo skewers that I had at home. Now, because I've done this so many times, I could literally use just one skewer. Now, I could literally just use one on a chicken breast. But sometimes when I put too much spinach in the pockets, I'd have to use two. Or if the chicken breast is really, really big and I feel like the spinach is going to pop out, then I'll use two. But for this, for example, with this looks really, really big. So I'm just going to use two sticks to hold that in place. Now, do not skip these bits, please. It is very, very, very important to use either toothpicks or whatever it is you have at home to ensure that the chicken breast bakes really, really nicely. Now, for this next stage, I decided to use a little bit of butter and I've mixed that with grated garlic. You could decide to use some olive oil. You could just sprinkle olive oil on it, on the chicken breast, and you could bake it like that. It's fine. But I personally, I found if I just use a little bit of olive oil, I don't like it really, really dry. Now the butter and the garlic gives it a really, really nice rounded taste on the outside, whilst the spinach and the cheese gives it a really yummy taste on the inside. So again, we're going for a balanced taste here. Now I'm just rubbing that nicely and lightly on the top of the chicken breast. I don't need to coat every bit of the chicken breast with this, to be honest, just on the top. Now I'm just going to roast. I've had to parboil my baby potatoes. Now I'm just going to put that in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes to bake. You could do yours less if you so prefer, but I like my chicken well done. And there you have it. This looks so yummy. This looks so yummy, and the taste is amazing. Now, as you can see, some of the spinach is already popping out, but that's fine. It's not really, it hasn't really made a mess. Look at all of that yummy juice. This is ready to be eaten. And oh yeah, I had to sprinkle some peppercorns on it as well. You could do so if you so desire. But the baby potatoes, the carrots, the chicken, this is so yummy and juicy. I've gone ahead to put a plate for myself. I've also added some hot chili sauce on the side. You can decide to have this meal with or without sauce. It's fine. The fact that the chicken is all juicy and moist on the inside, that's literally all you need, if I'm being honest. Now it's time for me to eat. Thank you for watching.